Hello everyone, this is Frances and I'm your tech savvy teacher. So today we're going to go over a basic tutorial on how to use Jamboard. So to go to Jamboard, you go to jamboard.google.com. And so now I already have it opened up and this is what the page will look like. So you'll have a blank page. You'll have a way to title it. So you click on the title and you can name it anything you want to work on. So say you're giving it a name, a date, a title. You could call it Math, ELA, whatever naming convention you'd like to use. Then there's a lot of tools. So first, we could start with the background. There are several options from the background between lines and grids, which work well for mathematics, to some colors as well. If you ever don't like what's on a frame, you could always clear that frame and it goes back to normal. So once I add pictures or text, by going back to clear frame, everything will go back. So now our first tool is our pen. And we have a pen, we have a marker, we have a highlighter, and we have a brush. And then we have 6 colors that we can use. The tool below it is an eraser. You have your select option to move things around. Then you have a sticky note. Your sticky note has several colors, and you can type numbers on it, you could type equations, you could type words on it. So, save it. And I could start to create my board. So now there's many different options to use. So now if I wanted to add, I could add pictures. So I can upload a picture straight from my computer. I'm able to do in Google image search, which is very popular, which I have my teachers do often. So say I want to find a picture of an at word. So I'm going to look for a cat, clip art. And now I'm going to move this on the bottom because I'm going to want my students to drag it up under to the right area. So now you could also add a bunch of shapes. So as you could see, there are 8 different shapes to add. I like to use this shape particularly to section off my answers. All of these shapes can also be colored in. So you have, again, the 6 colors. You can also make them transparent. And you could also change the inking lines to give it different colors and effects. So I'm going to move that down. I could type in text. So if my students are on a text level, I could do the word cat. And I could do the word can. And then I also have a little highlighter. So if I'm telling my students which word to choose, we're going to work on an at word. This little highlighter highlights the work that they're doing. Now for students, this becomes a simple drag and drop activity. So when they get it, all they have to do is drag the correct answers into the correct places. Now this is some of the simplest parts of Jamboard. Now, if you wanted to make a second page on your Jamboard, you use this little arrow up here and you create a new frame. And so now you can also add worksheets. So if you wanted a writing worksheet, you could find something that fits your needs and add it in. If you wanted to trace words, you could find something that meets it. So if I wanted to do some science, for example, but my students are remote, they can now use this to trace the parts of the plants. So now I'm going to go through a few examples that I have. So now this is an addition Jamboard using visual symbols and numbers. And subtraction Jamboard. This again is a handwriting Jamboard, and it is very easy once the students, and I'll make it easy to see, once the students start tracing. You could watch them trace, you could see what they're doing, and you're able to see how well that they did. And simply, if you want to change anything and go back, you hit this little symbol, and what you did is undone. These are some counting Jamboards. So this is finding some ocean animals and circling the correct answer. So a student simply just has to count and circle. Again, another way to do addition and subtraction. This is a handwriting, parts in the United States. These are word families, plant parts, matching words to their pictures, describing a dog. You could even make this a template for an agenda that you're going to use for an assignment. So there are many, many different ways to use Jamboard, and Jamboards can be as simple or as complex as you want them to be. So these are just a few examples, and then I wanted to show you an example of some of the complex Jamboards. You could also create them into full STEAM challenges. So this is a Build Your Own City STEAM challenge, and this is a Build Your Own Community STEAM challenge. So this was just a little overview today on how to use Jamboard, some of the tools, and some of the possibilities that come with it. I'm going to have a follow-up video on how to create full-fledged Jamboards that would work for in-person, remote, and blended learning. Hope you had a good time. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a message. Bye.